Rightly excited about a persuasive new study showing that New York City's small specialized high schools are outperforming larger, more traditional schools, significantly narrowing the graduation rate gap that currently exists between white and minority students across the city. The study validates the small school policies of the Bloomberg administration, which has shut down 20 large, failing high schools and replaced them with more than 200 small schools, about half of which were the focus of this study. Some of the large factory-style high schools that were closed had enrollments of 3,000 or more and graduation rates under 40%. The new small schools, overwhelmingly in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, typically serve a little more than 400 students each. These schools have several other things in common. They have a rigorous curriculum. They offer a personalized approach to education, with teachers responsible for keeping close tabs on the performance of their students. They are organized around themes: law, science, social justice. They get valuable support from community partners, colleges, cultural organizations, or social service groups that give the students extensive experience with a world of adults outside of their families. The study done by MDRC, a nonpartisan research group and paid for by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, focused on about 21,000 students. Nearly half attended the small schools focused on in the study, and the rest attended schools that were mainly larger and older. It found that the average graduation rate for students in the small schools was nearly 69%, nearly 7 percentage points higher than the rate for students in the traditional schools. That means that the small schools erased about a third of the 20-point graduation rate gap that currently exists between white students and students of color in New York City. These findings are especially encouraging given that most of the students studied entered the small high schools reading below grade level. The researchers plan to follow them through college into the world of work. The findings have breathed new life into the small school movement. It should encourage Mayor Michael Bloomberg to replace more large, failing schools and districts elsewhere to follow New York City's example. Advocates have been fighting to end female genital mutilation across Africa and parts of the Middle East and Asia, marking progress one village at a time. The battleground extends to immigrant communities in the developed world which still value the horrifying ritual. Female genital mutilation has been banned in the United States since 1996. Representatives Joseph Crowley of New York and Mary Bono Mack of California are now sponsoring legislation that would make it a felony to take a girl out of the country to have the procedure, punishing violators with fines and a 5-year prison term. Supporters hope the law will be a deterrent and embolden more young women or their northerners or their mothers to resist family or community pressure and defend themselves. The need for strong resistance was underscored after the American Academy of Pediatrics issued a statement that a milder version of mutilation, a nick of a girl's genitals done in a doctor's office, should be made legal in the United States as a way to prevent families from taking children abroad for the full brutal procedure. Advocates rightly argued that medicalizing this violence against women would only legitimize it and undermine the force of the ban. The Academy has since withdrawn the statement. Congress should move quickly to pass the Girls Protection Act. More needs to be done. State health authorities should step up education campaigns in immigrant communities. Pediatricians could make it their business to recognize and report the signs of abuse. Federal officials could ensure that ports of entry like Kennedy International Airport in New York City have informational signs, hotlines, and a shelter. An international departure terminal may provide the last chance to save a girl from a lifetime of suffering and early death.